So in Pakistan, all our work is for protection of children, or for participation, for their survival or their development. Having said that, a survival would mean that you have to have a system in place where government or whoever is supposed to provide immunization does it on a timely basis. Their health services are functional. Similarly, for development, your education system is working, where children are going in, they are learning. A school is an environment where children feel that they are happy, they are learning, and they are bringing and they are contributing to their society wherever they are. The participation is wherever we talk about children. What happens with children is we usually treat them that we have to tell them what they have to do, and they do not have their mind of their own. So plan encourages its partners and its other development organizations that they can work together and understand how you can bring in children's voices, how the children could be participating into the development work. The last but not the least, which is protection, and especially protection is most critical these days, because if a child is neglected, that such children are can be kidnapped, these children can be trafficked. There is and poverty is a factor which also encourages in certain cases, very ironically speaking, which is very sad for me to mention, but parents are willing to send their children for domestic work. They are not giving them education. What we do is we organize awareness of masses on it, of parents and gatekeepers on these issues. Then we also work with the government, share with them what are the rules and regulations as in the constitution, as in the laws, or as in the framework agreements. You get those ones out to them. Then we also work with them to find practical solutions to those issues. And practical solutions are like you share, okay, a child brain develops the maximum in the early ages. That is from age, they say from age 0 to 3, 80% of child brain is grows 80%. But once we look at the government's interventions, there is not a single government intervention in that age groups, 0 to 5. Our primary education starts from 6 and onwards, so there's hardly anything. Now what we need to do, when 80% of a child brain is growing, you really need to have some investment made in that particular area. So what plan does is it brings in experiences from around the world, like on early child care and development, how it can be used in Pakistani context, what mothers need to be doing, how they will be engaging their children, and all that is what plan brings in the value addition to the work and to whichever country plan is living. So that's what we do. It is early child care and development. It's not really a home school, but it is a cluster of houses coming together, and they identify a center place where children come in, and we have developed 32 weeks of syllabus for those children, which is based on government's curriculum. So there is a caregiver identified from the village who goes and teaches children on what to do. It's very simple. It's talking about issues which children face. It's telling them what the relationship is, how to play with each other, how to enjoy winning, and how to sometimes lose also in a graceful manner. So all those things which a person needs to know are taught in this particular case. It's about how to respect elders, what to say, how to say salam, and why spring is spring and why winter is winter. What is the difference? It's simple things, folk tales, stories. And when you talk about stories, it's not what was said or what was behind it. So you can get into talking about those things, like when you say that it's a story about a child who lied 3 times. That's a common story we all heard, sher aaya, and the last time the sher comes. So that's the story. What is the reason behind it? Why we should be doing it, and why not we should be talking about this? How we can be settling our differences with each other without use of force. So all these things are part of that particular program. Now we have also interventions in secondary education, in post-secondary education also. In secondary education, what we do is we get to communities and the teachers and the students to sit together and develop a 5 years development plan for their school. How would they want that school to be? And to me, when you want to look at your school, it's not just a building, it's what teaching and learning activity is taking place. And when you talk about education or you talk about learning, you don't actually need school buildings. What you need is, you need curriculum, you need teacher, and you need student, and that's about it. So this whole thing is done in a way so that people understand what is important. I'm not saying that building and furniture is not, that is, but that's not the primary first thing. So you get into those things first, and then you bring in the other things at a later point in time, so that your energy is spent towards improving the quality of education, not just for that child to be a better person, but also for your whole society to become better. Because if the child is better and all the children are better, the whole society would turn out to be a better society. Basically mentioned two things. One is working with the government. I think, as I was saying in my speech a little while ago, you have to strengthen the system. Whatever you do, it should be towards strengthening a system. If system is not right, fix the system rather than develop a parallel system. So in education, if we start opening up our own schools, or every NGO starts opening up their own school, what will happen is there'll be 2, 3, 4, 5 kinds of different schools. One, you have government school, then you have private schools, then you have these NGO schools. So there'll be endless number of tiers we'll be bringing in. The best option is to strengthen the system, and within the system what we try to do is we go in, train the teachers, we go in and bring in the government line departments who are supposed to work, or others who are supposed to work. Like we also do some work with the Punjab Education Fund or Forum, PEF. We do some work with them. So we also strengthen their mechanisms. I think when we talk about a good system, it should be rewarding people and it should be punishing people. Rewarding the ones who are doing good and reprimanding the ones who are not doing good. If your monitoring systems are not in place, your accountability systems are not in place, then you are not going to get good results from it. Now, we conducted a study and we found out that corporal punishment in Pakistan is rampant. So we thought what to do about it. We went in, we did consultation with the teachers, we did consultations with the governments, we signed MOUs with the governments. Now what we have done is we have brought in that component of why a teacher should not be beating a child, and what are the alternate mechanisms for controlling a class within their training system. So what we have done is we have streamlined their training so that this becomes an issue for them to understand it and start getting help in removing it from their daily practice. So this is just a small example which I'm sharing. Because I'm a Girl it's going to be our major global campaign, because we feel that women, the girl child is being neglected. They are not given as much of importance as a boy or a man is given in our society. These gender segregation or divisions are on rise. Realizing that, Plan initiated a campaign which is called Girl Power, or Because I'm a Girl campaign. In this particular one, what we do is we talk about the issues which girl is facing. The issues which girl, when they become a woman, would be facing too. So now, last year, every year we produce a child state of the girl child report, which highlights the issues which girls are facing around the world. Last year was a focus on girls living in urban environment and in cyberspace. So now there are practical issues with the girls when they live in urban environment. There are protection issues. When you go into digital cyber world, there are issues in there. So we raised it. The other thing we were raising last year was on girls' access to science and technology, because this is an area, if girls are given this education, they'll have better jobs tomorrow. So we are looking at livelihood, we are looking at their health. We had a report on children in wars also, where what effects it has there. So this is an area where plan is going to go very, very big, talking about girl-child issue, and we would be pioneering in Pakistan, or we'll be the leaders in Pakistan on taking on girls' issues when it comes to a child within that child category. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.